versus face, or like when it comes to Sasha and Belair, like, do you think Edge would be the heel in this, or would you think face versus face match? Is that where you think this is going?
It's an odd one, isn't it? So Edge has always been best as the heel, but his story is so uplifting. You cannot boo him, and he warned Drew on Raw this week, saying, like, you don't keep complimenting me. You're making a huge mistake. I'm the ultimate opportunist, and you're going to see why. Like, very soon when I take my opportunity. You're being very stupid at the moment. So could this be? Because Drew was talking about what kind of champion he wanted to be, and with Sheamus, his best friend of 20 years, a man he spent Christmas Day with in a diner because they didn't have anyone else one year. Sheamus turning his back on Drew. That little speech from Edge, and because of Sheamus' actions, gives Drew the kind of kick up the arse, and as a result, a change in persona. Realizing, I do have the target on my back, so now I have to do whatever it takes to keep hold of this title. I've got to change my game up, and a lot of people may not like it, so we might likely see maybe Drew screwing Edge out of the title.
Maybe. I mean, again, it opens up some interesting possibilities. I think that's what. And as much as we could sit there and say we're hypocrites in some sense, we're saying, well, we don't want like part timers in title matches, because obviously with Goldberg we're all freaking out about Goldberg. Why is he in that title? But with Edge, it's different, I think, because it's like, one, he reminds me of, he's very like Jericho in some ways. It's like he understands the business so well that he would do what's right for the business, in the sense that he would make the right. He doesn't have this ego. He has an ego, but he doesn't have this ego to stroke. If you know what I mean? So it's like he could lose, but he'll make it in a way that always, elevates the person he's facing. He's had the match against an old rival. He's done that, but now we can properly go into the fantasy type matches we've always wanted from this. When he was announced to come back, but like when he came back, it's like, who could he face? Like, AJ, Drew, I don't know, Seth, if he wants to do like that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Like that kind of. And now we get a glimpse of what, like, it's the perfect match of old versus new. Generational match. It's what WrestleMania main event should
and
be.
Edge is in the best
right
physical
way.
shape, I guess, of his life, of his career. Whereas you've got Oldberg, who can just about do a jackhammer.
Yeah, and also we've got Edge, was like, I think it's also an award for Drew because all his hard work he's done over the year. Of that, they trust him enough to go against Edge, like that he can, because it's like they trust him enough to go against Goldberg, because again, even if that match kind of sucked for 2 minutes, it was all right. It was still a better match that Goldberg's had for like a while. So you could say kudos to Drew for that, because they trust him enough to go against this guy, and he made it semi okay. So against Edge, I'm loving it. I mean, people say Roman, but I don't want that match yet. I think Drew makes sense.
I think so. That the dynamic there would be very interesting to see which way they want to go with it. And I think it will be Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. I don't think we've had that match for a while.
No, what about